You know, we step into them pretty much every day, right? We trust them to whisk us up, sometimes dozens of stories high, without a second thought. What's actually going on behind the scenes to make sure that ride is safe? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the unseen guardians of the elevator, and we've got some fantastic insights from the experts at Novinpooya Elevator to guide us.
I mean, be honest, the thought has probably crossed your mind. Maybe you're on a long ride up to the top floor, and you think, what really keeps this box from, falling? Is it just those big steel cables, or is there something way smarter, something more intricate at play?
Well, here's the secret. It's not just one single thing. It's this incredible, powerful master system. You can almost think of it as the elevator's central nervous system for safety, and it's called the safety circuit. This is the ultimate guardian that's watching over every single ride you take.
And this chain analogy is just perfect. Think about it like a string of old Christmas lights. You know the kind where if one single bulb burns out, the entire string just goes dark? The safety circuit is exactly like that. It's one long, continuous electrical chain, and every single safety switch has to be perfectly closed, perfectly secure for the elevator to even think about moving. The moment one of those links breaks, bam, the whole system stops instantly.
So where does this all-important safety chain begin? Well, it starts with the one part of the elevator we all see and touch every time. The doors. They aren't just there to let you in and out. They are the absolute first and maybe the most important line of defense. And this right here shows you just how, well, paranoid the system is, in a really good way. See, it isn't satisfied with just checking one thing. It does a dual verification. First, a little switch called a two-pronged contact makes sure the door is physically shut all the way, but that's not enough. A second check, the lock contact, confirms that a heavy mechanical bolt has actually been thrown into place. That means the door can't be forced open. Both of those checks have to give the thumbs up before that link in the safety chain is considered good to go.
Okay, so what about the inner door, the one that actually travels with you in the cabin? Well, it's a little different. It doesn't need that big mechanical lock because its main job is just to be a solid barrier between you and the elevator shaft. So it only needs one check. Is it completely 100% closed? That same two-pronged contact makes sure it is. And if that door is open even a tiny little bit, just a crack, the circuit breaks, and you're not going anywhere.
All right, let's go behind the scenes, way behind the scenes. We're going to move to a part of the elevator you've probably never seen before called the pit. And we'll see how the safety system builds in a crucial layer of protection, not for us, the passengers, but for the technicians who keep these machines running. Way down at the very bottom of the elevator shaft, in this space they call the pit, there is a vital life-saving tool. It's a big, can't-miss-it emergency stop button, and it's designed for one purpose, to protect the maintenance crew.
They call it the pit mushroom stop button, for obvious reasons. Before a technician ever starts working down there, the first thing they do is press this button. It's a physical kill switch. It instantly breaks the safety circuit, guaranteeing that the elevator car and that massive counterweight are completely, totally immobilized. And here's the key. It can't be reset from the control panel upstairs. The technician who pressed it has to manually release it themselves, giving them absolute control over their own safety.
So, that's the core fail-safe system, that safety circuit. But on top of that, modern elevators have all these intelligent sensors, these active guardians that are constantly working to prevent problems from even happening in the first place.
I'm sure we've all done this, right? You're making a last-second dash for the elevator, you stick your hand out, and like magic, the doors stop and reopen. Well, it's not magic. It's a really clever piece of technology called a light curtain.
Okay, here's the cool part. The system creates this whole grid of invisible infrared light beams across the entire doorway. The second anything, your hand, your bag, anything, breaks even one of those beams, it sends a signal directly to the door controller. Now notice this, it doesn't break the main safety circuit, it just tells the door's own little brain, hey, stop what you're doing and reopen. This keeps everything running smoothly and safely without bringing the entire elevator to a grinding halt every time someone runs for the door.
All right, let's talk about another common situation. Every elevator has a weight limit, right? So what actually stops it from trying to lift a load that's just way too heavy? Well, there's a hard limit for that. Deep inside the system, there's a sensor called an overload control relay, and its only job is to constantly monitor the weight in the car. If that weight hits a certain point, for instance, 110% of its official capacity, it springs into action. The very moment that overload is detected, that relay opens a switch. And that switch is, yep, you guessed it, another link in our master safety circuit. The circuit breaks, the elevator refuses to move, the doors will stay open, and you'll probably hear a pretty annoying buzzer. And this isn't just about passenger safety, it's also protecting the elevator's own motor and cables from the incredible stress of trying to lift too much weight.
Now, it's so important to understand this. None of these features are optional. The door locks, the stop buttons, the overload sensors, these aren't deluxe add-ons. They're absolutely non-negotiable components, and they're mandated by incredibly strict engineering standards. This, right here, is the foundation of your trust when you step into an elevator. These standards, like the international EN81 standard or Iran's own national ISO 63031, are the official rulebooks. They lay out exactly how every single one of these safety parts has to be designed, has to be built, and has to be installed. Complying with them isn't the goal, it's the absolute bare minimum starting point.
And that's where true expertise becomes so critical. I mean, you can have a box full of all the best safety parts in the world, but if they aren't installed and maintained with absolute precision, they're just, well, a box of switches. It takes real experts to turn them into a reliable, life-saving system. As the team at Novinpooya Elevator says, it's all about combining that expert knowledge with a meticulous, careful adherence to every single one of those standards.
So the next time you step into an elevator and the doors close, maybe you'll think about that incredible invisible web of guardians, that safety circuit, the sensors, the locks, all working together silently just to make sure you have a safe ride. A huge thank you to the experts at Novinpooya Elevator for these insights. For any advice or purchases, you can check out their website, novinpooyalift.com, or reach them on the call and WhatsApp number you see on your screen. Thanks for tuning in.